by swarms of Iranian-made Shahed-style drones. These are relatively slow, propeller-driven systems, but their strength lies in numbers. Deployed in large waves, their primary purpose is to saturate and overwhelm air defense systems, forcing defenders to expend valuable interceptor missiles on low-cost targets. Following these were more advanced attack drones, creating multiple, staggered waves of threats. These systems are often faster, more maneuverable, and can carry more substantial payloads, presenting a more direct and precise danger to specific targets, while the Shaheds continue to distract and drain defensive resources. The missile component of the strike was even more varied and dangerous, designed to exploit every potential gap in air defense coverage. Russia launched 14 Iskander-M ballistic missiles. These weapons follow a high, arcing trajectory, reaching the edge of the atmosphere before plunging towards their targets at very high speeds, making their final descent difficult to intercept. In contrast, 12 Iskander-K cruise missiles were used. These fly at low altitudes, hugging the terrain to stay below radar detection for as long as possible, presenting a completely different challenge from their ballistic counterparts. Adding another layer, 4 Kh-59 and Kh-69 guided air-launched missiles were fired. Launched from tactical aircraft, these are designed for precision strikes against high-value targets, relying on advanced guidance systems to achieve pinpoint accuracy. The most formidable weapons in this assault were a pair of Kh-7M2 Kinjal aeroballistic missiles. Classified as hypersonic weapons, they can exceed Mach 10 over 7,600 miles per hour. Launched from a high-altitude fighter jet, the Kinjal combines the speed of a ballistic missile with the maneuverability of a cruise missile. Their extreme speed and ability to make unpredictable maneuvers during flight make them exceptionally hard for even the most advanced air defense systems to track and destroy. This strategy of mixing hypersonic ballistic missiles, low-flying cruise missiles, and swarms of slow drones makes defense exponentially harder. Each system attacks from a different altitude, at a different speed, and on a different vector. For defenders, this creates a nightmare scenario. They must rapidly identify, prioritize, and assign the right interceptor for each specific weapon type, all while under immense pressure and with mere seconds to react. Despite the terrifying scale and complexity of the Russian assault, Ukraine's response was a testament to its remarkable defensive capabilities, skills and systems honed over years of relentless conflict. This was not a panicked reaction, but the activation of a deeply ingrained, battle-hardened doctrine. The country's integrated air defense network sprang into action with practiced efficiency. This integration is the key. Data from early warning radars, NATO intelligence, and civilian spotters flows into a unified command system. This system analyzes threats in real time, assigning the best-suited defensive asset to each incoming target. This is not a single system, but a complex, multi-layered shield, designed with overlapping fields of fire and engagement envelopes. Each layer has a specific role, creating a defense in depth that is resilient and difficult for an attacker to overwhelm. The outermost layer consists of fighter aviation crews of the Ukrainian Air Force, tasked with intercepting high-value targets like cruise missiles and bombers long before they reach populated areas. Below them are the surface-to-air missile brigades, operating a diverse arsenal of Soviet-era and modern Western systems. These form the backbone of the area defense, protecting entire cities and critical infrastructure. Working in parallel are increasingly sophisticated electronic warfare units designed to jam and disable drone guidance systems. They create invisible walls of electromagnetic interference, causing drones to lose their way or simply fall from the sky without a shot being fired. Crucially, the network is augmented by thousands of mobile fire groups, often equipped with machine guns and anti-aircraft cannons. These nimble units provide a flexible last line of point defense against low-flying, slow-moving drones that might slip through the upper layers. The results of this coordinated multi-layered defense were nothing short of extraordinary. By 10 a.m. on October 10th, A preliminary report from the Ukrainian General Staff detailed the outcome of the overnight battle. Out of 497 total aerial threats launched by Russia, a staggering number were neutralized. Ukrainian forces shot down or electronically suppressed 420 targets, an interception rate of nearly 85% against a massive combined arms aerial assault. The bulk of these were drones, with 405 enemy UAVs intercepted, primarily the Shahed-type loitering munitions. But the defense also proved effective against more advanced weaponry. They downed 9 Iskander-K cruise missiles and 4 Iskander-M ballistic missiles, plus a Kh-59-69 air-launched missile. Most notably, 1 Kinjal hypersonic missile was intercepted, a weapon previously touted as unstoppable. This specific feat was enabled by the skillful operation of advanced Western systems like the American Patriot and the Franco-Italian SAMP-T, whose powerful radars and high-speed interceptors are purpose-built to counter such high-performance threats. Even with an interception rate near 85%, the small fraction that penetrated inflicted significant and tragic consequences. According to official statements, 13 missiles and 60 attack drones managed to evade interceptors and strike targets or fall as destructive debris. The damage was spread across 19 locations, primarily critical energy infrastructure. Timed to disrupt power and heating as winter approaches, a cruel strategy aimed at demoralizing civilians. Power outages were reported in multiple regions including Kiev, Donetsk, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, and Odessa. More than 20 people across the country were reported injured and required immediate assistance. In Zaporizhzhia, a missile strike claimed the life of 1 child. President Zelensky offered condolences and condemned the targeting of civilian and energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, crews worked tirelessly to restore power and water, clear rubble, and stabilize communities. A rapid, coordinated response, proof of Ukrainian resilience. The massive strike on October 9th and 10th was not an isolated event, but part of a clear, escalating pattern. Throughout 2025, Ukraine has endured near-nightly attacks of drones and missiles. This assault involved nearly 500 aerial objects, mirroring another major strike just days earlier, on October 5th. Then, close to 550 were launched. Ukraine repelled 478. An even larger attack took place in September. Over 800 drones and dozens of missiles. Russia's air war has become one of mass and attrition, seeking to exhaust interceptors and find gaps. Yet with each attack, Ukraine adapts, analyzing tactics, refining strategies, and improving allocation of resources. Consistently high interception rates, often above 80%, show defenses holding and improving. Integration spans modified Soviet-era kit to advanced Patriot, Iris-T, and SAMP-T batteries. A deeply layered network where different systems cover different altitudes and threats. Stopping hypersonic and ballistic threats validates the strategy. While losses occur, overall damage is significantly limited. For Moscow, brute force terror is yielding diminishing returns. But Ukraine's strategy has evolved far beyond a purely defensive posture. Recognizing that survival alone is not victory, Kyiv has shifted towards a proactive campaign of strategic retaliation, designed to systematically degrade Russia's ability to wage war from deep within its own operational rear. A prime example of this strategic shift unfolded on the night of October 13th. Under the cover of darkness, Ukraine launched a significant and coordinated drone strike targeting the largest oil depot in Feodosia, a critical logistical hub in occupied Crimea. The attack was a success. Multiple fuel storage tanks were hit with precision, igniting a colossal fire that lit up the night sky and was reportedly visible for miles along the coast. Within hours, online videos circulated, showing immense plumes of thick black smoke billowing into the atmosphere, irrefutable proof of a direct and substantial hit on a high-value military asset. The damage wasn't isolated to the fuel tanks. A nearby electrical substation was also struck and damaged, compounding the disruption by crippling the power supply needed for the facility's operations. The strategic value of this target cannot be overstated. The Feodosia facility can store up to 250,000 tons of fuel, serving as the primary supply point for the tanks, aircraft, and warships of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. This operation highlights a stark contrast in military doctrine: Russia's indiscriminate terror bombing of civilian areas versus Ukraine's calculated precision strikes on legitimate military and logistical targets. It is a clear demonstration of strategic asymmetry. Each successful strike, like the one in Feodosia, disproportionately disrupts Russia's fragile supply lines, creating cascading failures and worsening fuel shortages that ripple across the front. These sustained strikes have deepened Russia's domestic fuel crisis, not only raising pump prices for its citizens, but, more critically, straining the logistical capacity of its military machine. Looking ahead, the path forward for Ukraine involves a dual-pronged approach, continuing to strengthen its multi-layered air defenses while simultaneously intensifying its campaign to dismantle Russia's logistical backbone. The strategic implication for Ukraine's allies is clear: continued, expanded, and expedited deliveries of advanced air defense systems and interceptors are absolutely essential to protect its people and its progress. This hard-won resilience offers hope for the future, but the tragic loss of even one child in a missile strike underscores the profound urgency to close any remaining gaps in its defensive shield. With the right tools, consistent training, and adaptive tactics, Russia's campaign of aerial terror can be largely defeated. By blunting Russia's attacks and crippling its ability to sustain them, Ukraine can secure its future as a free, sovereign, and resilient European nation.